Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. So if you have watched my video from yesterday, I made it very clear. If the price of Bitcoin is going to close this weekly below the 48,000 range, that could trigger another sell-off type of scenario. Why? Because this 48,000 range was an extremely important line of support for Bitcoin because the rising trend line which was holding the price since March 2020, this 50 weekly moving average and also this falling trend line was holding the price around that range, but the weekly closed below it, and also now we are hovering around this 45,000 range. What could that mean? Is this a sign that the price of Bitcoin is ready for this new movement here to the downward direction? And if that's going to happen here in the upcoming days, where could that actually be? I am going to show each and every scenario in today's video, so please watch it till the end. And also guys, before I show you another chart, please take 2 seconds of your time and smash the like button. And for those individuals who are still not subscribed to this channel, come on guys, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Now let me show you this very interesting scenario that could be playing out right now with Bitcoin. So let me show you here in a daily time frame what must happen if the price of Bitcoin wants to show any sort of an impulsive movement playing out. Because in the past Bitcoin price action, whenever we saw an actual breakout playing out here in price action, what happened before? If you look at this price movement, you can see the price of Bitcoin was clearly making this lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern. Here we made higher highs, but price still made a lower low. So we were following this lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern until here. You can see this here is higher than the previous one. Once the price started this new higher lows, we also started forming this higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern where the trend started to head here in a upward direction. Again, similar scenario unfolded here. We started making lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern, right? You can see here. But once the price started making these higher lows, after that, we started this new move here to the upward direction. So now if this exact scenario is also going to play out right now with us, you can see this is clearly lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern type of scenario. So if the price of Bitcoin here in a daily time frame could show some more range bound and also start making these higher lows, right, then that could give us some indication that maybe the trend could see some sort of a relief rally playing out here in a price action. If we do look at this in a bit different way, what we can also do is simply add the falling channel or descending channel, because according to this descending channel we can clearly see guys the price of Bitcoin. Let me switch this into 4-hour time frame, right? You can see we are clearly making this lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern, lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern. So now if this trend is going to continue here to the downside, according to this falling channel or descending channel, the lower line area is where we could be getting approach, and that is around 44,000 price area. And why this 44,000 actually matters is because if you add this CPI indicator, according to the CPI indicator also, you can see this red line is the monthly support line for Bitcoin, which is also lying around 44,000 price area. So if this trend is going to continue here to the downside, 44,000 is where we are actually expecting the price of Bitcoin to come and see a really nice bounce after that. But if you look at this in a bit different way guys, what I can also show you is this one price movement. Here, if the price of Bitcoin, let's suppose, does seize another massive movement, right, then what must happen? We must break this lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern at any cost and start making these higher highs, higher lows price movement. Why this actually matters? Because if we look at the price movement here, let's go back to daily time frame in a very simple way. Let me show you with the help of this Fibonacci extension line. If you take the Fibonacci extension from this swing low till this swing high, you can see this price movement, right, this impulsive movement ended after reaching around this 100% Fibonacci extension line, and after that we saw this reversal again. Now if this is also going to happen here, we are going to take this Fibonacci extension from this swing low till this swing high, right, and look at this price movement. So if this is going to be any sort of a movement again at least towards this 100% Fibonacci extension line that's lying around 70,000, then we must find support at this 0.236 Fibonacci line, and that is lying around 48,500 price area. And now you know why this 48,500 is so important, because breaking above this 48,500, finding support above that could indicate another higher lows, right? And we could be actually forming this higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern here in this manner. So that is the reason in a daily time frame we have to come above this 48,500 at any cost if we want to see any sort of a impulsive movement playing out for Bitcoin. And not just only in this way, guys, if you also look at the price structure, let me show you in another chart. So now if you look at this falling wedge, even though falling wedge is looked as a bullish scenario, in our case, we unfortunately failed to find support at the lower line area, because in the past Bitcoin price action, you can see falling wedge led to a really nice impulsive price movement, but in our case, we broke out of it and the same lower line acted as a resistance, didn't let the price to come inside this falling wedge. So now if this is going to be more of a pullback type of scenario, as I've already said you, right, we could be getting approached towards this 44,000 range, this 44,000 around this area, right? So if we do manage this some more consolidation, that will also be very, very nice, because we have said this could be more of a Y-curve accumulation scenario before we break here to the upper direction. So that's why, guys, we are more than happy to see price of Bitcoin seeing more of a range bound type of scenario around this area. And not just only this one here, let me also show you another interesting chart here in a smaller time frame. So now what we are going to do here, we are using these pivot lines to pinpoint some important line of support, important line of resistance, and also what could happen in the worst case scenario for Bitcoin here in December month. According to this CPR, which is a leading indicator, gives us information beforehand, we can see this one scenario played out here in past Bitcoin price action that led to a bigger price retracement. Because whenever the trend of Bitcoin, let me show you this in a daily time frame, I think it's better, right? So whenever the trend of Bitcoin was heading here to the upside, you can see the price of Bitcoin always, right, always test the green line. I mean this green line, which is the monthly R1 line, where this line always gets triggered. But here in April month from 2020, right, you can see we failed. We almost came around that range, but price was not able to touch the monthly R1 line, which indicated some sign of weakness. And all of a sudden after that, you can see we had this massive price pullback. And if you look at the month after that, this May month, the price clearly left the monthly R1 line and started this downtrend, which brought the price towards this S3 line. S3 line is the worst case scenario the price of Bitcoin could see in a same month. And in that case, it happened. I mean, the price of Bitcoin got this reversal around this S3 line. And after reaching the S3 line, you can see we started this consolidation before price started breaking it to the upper direction. And now if you look in our case, you can see the green line, the monthly R1 line in an uptrend will always be tested, was working very, very well, except when we came around this November month. You can see we left the November month open just like here. And after that, in the past Bitcoin price action, you can see we saw this worst case scenario where the price saw this retracement around this monthly S3 line. And now in our case, if you look at this clearly, we also left this monthly R1 line and started this downtrend. So if this is going to be a pretty similar scenario, just like here from past Bitcoin price action, then in the worst case scenario, we could be also approaching towards the monthly S3 line, which we don't want to happen at any cost. And this monthly S3 line is sitting around 34,600 price area. I don't want to create any sort of a fear. I'm just showing you the worst case scenario that could play out, because for us right now the most important support is this 44,000, and we want this 44,000 support also to hold the price at any cost, because we could still expect some more range bound type of scenario if the price is going to see a proper support between this 50 to 44,000 area, because we could see consolidation, which could also lead out to be more of a Y-curve reaccumulation phase before continuing here to the upper duration. So that is the reason, guys, if we do see more of a range bound type of scenario around this area, we are more than happy to see that. And not just only this, if you have watched my video from yesterday, I talked about this 3 valley and a river pattern, but I did one thing wrong. I showed you the 62% retracement from here, from the top till the bottom, which is wrong. I should have showed you from the point A, which is here, right? So please forgive me for this one. The 0.618 in our case right now is lying around 49,500 price area, because according to the 3 valley and a river, this 62% retracement or the 0.618 retracement is going to be from point A till this point B. So in our case, from point A till this point B, if we do see any sort of a movement playing out here, then 49,500 could be our upward price target for Bitcoin. Otherwise, right, this could still continue more as a lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern, which I just showed you, right? You can see lower highs, lower lows continuation patterns. But if this trend here shows any sort of an impulsive movement here in this manner, then you will notice that we will be making a higher lows. So this is exactly what we want the price of Bitcoin to do here in a immediate short term, because if we do that, then this could still be playing out as a double bottom type of scenario where we could see some more relief rally type of scenario around this point C area that could be around 49,500 price range. So these are some of the interesting scenario I thought sharing with you in today's episode. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.